In this video, we're going to talk all about ChatGPT for real estate agents. Hey everybody, Katie Lance here, and if you have been, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or not, but oh my gosh, everyone is talking about ChatGPT, and I decided to do a video to share a few tips, tools, and strategies for how to make the most out of ChatGPT. And there's so many opportunities for real estate professionals to use ChatGPT for their listings, for their marketing, and so much more. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 ideas that you can implement immediately to get started with ChatGPT. Let's go. First off, if you're not familiar with ChatGPT, as of the recording of this video, it is totally free. So just do a quick Google search, you will get to ChatGPT. And the way ChatGPT works is it is based on AI technology. And I just have to say, before I get into my 5 tips, the first few times I used ChatGPT, I was pretty blown away. It's pretty incredible how you can put in a prompt, put in some information, and within literally seconds to see what comes back to you. I also want to preface this by saying I don't think ChatGPT replaces you, replaces a human. I've always said that I don't think there's an app or tool or resource that can replace you. When it comes to social media is social. And if you're a real estate agent watching this, real estate is a relationship business. So when done right, it can only make you be a little bit more efficient, especially when it comes to content creation, writing, and so many other opportunities. All right, let's get into those 5 ideas for ChatGPT for real estate agents. Tip number 1, write specific copy for social media posts. Okay, so let's say you have something that you want to talk about. Maybe you want to do a post about how, the top 5 ways to get your home ready for the market, or mistakes every first-time home buyer makes. In previous videos, we've talked a lot about content creation, and I'm a big believer in creating content around questions you get asked all the time. In fact, as you think about all the clients you've worked with, you might sit down, brainstorm a list of questions and topics that came up, and then you could take some of those topics and put those into ChatGPT. So let's say you have a topic around mistakes first-time home buyers make. So you could go into ChatGPT and say, write me a simple social media blog post that I could use for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, with ideas on mistakes every first-time home buyer makes. Okay, so you put that in there and then you'll see what comes back to you. Now, what comes back to you might be things that you agree with. It might be things that maybe you go, gosh, that doesn't really work for my market. So then what you can do is you can go in and say, take this part out or replace this part. The other thing that's really nice about ChatGPT is you can add in your tone. So if you're someone who is very professional, very maybe conservative in your tone, you want to give that information to ChatGPT. You might say, write it with a tone of professionalism, or professionalism but friendly. So as you think about your own tone and how you are, how you present yourself, the tone is going to be really important. The other thing that you can tell ChatGPT along with this idea of creating content for your social media is thinking about who you are and who your audience is. So oftentimes when I'm writing something, I'll say create an article or create a social media post for potential real estate prospects who live in this specific area, and I am a such and such realtor in this specific city. So by preloading as much information and context as possible, the better response you're going to get. So this works really well for copy that you can use for, again, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're spending time. Now, you probably are still going to want to record videos or create some graphics over in Canva. And by the way, we have tons of videos all about Canva. We're going to link some of my favorite Canva videos down below if you're looking for some great ideas when it comes to Canva. The written part of it, though, can really help in a big way. And in addition to that, you might also ask ChatGPT to add in some relevant hashtags, add in a compelling call to action, and now you've got a great post that you can copy and paste into your various social media channels. So it really helps when it comes to not just creating content, but writing the captions. Sometimes the captions are the hardest part when it comes to social media posts. So that's number 1 when it comes to ChatGPT for real estate. Tip number 2, write your MLS description or rewrite your MLS description. So let's say you have a brand new listing that just came on the market, and so you can go into ChatGPT and say, hey, write me an MLS description for this many characters. I know every MLS is a little bit different. Some of you have a word limit of maybe 500 words or 800 or 1,000 depending on your MLS. So you can go into ChatGPT and say, write me a description that I can use for the MLS that is no longer than, let's say, 500 words, that includes this, and this. So you're still going to want to have all the bullet points about what that house is all about, whether it's the type of granite or the fixtures or whatever it might be. Once you put that information in, again, add in your tone, add in your context, then it can spit back out to you a description that you can use for your MLS. Now, I also say use it to rewrite your MLS, rewrite your description for the MLS, because maybe you have a property that's been on the market for a while, or maybe it was with another agent and now you are the listing agent. So what a great opportunity to take that copy and put it all into ChatGPT and say, rewrite this, in a fresh and engaging in a new way. So again, really take some of that heavy lifting out, especially if you feel you're not strong when it comes to writing. When that comes back to you, you can take a look at that, make those edits, make those changes, and then get that into the MLS. Idea number 3, write email newsletters. So email is not dead by any stretch of the imagination. And I know email is not as exciting as, say, TikTok or Instagram or social media, but social media is rented ground. We don't own it, which is why I talk a lot about in this show, this idea of video creation as well as building your email database. Super important. And when it comes to sending out email newsletters, creating an email newsletter in ChatGPT is super easy. I have done this several times. You can do this, send an email newsletter through your CRM, or if you're using a tool like MailChimp, or I know for me, we've created a lot of newsletters through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is totally free. You can go on LinkedIn and actually create a free email newsletter, which is actually really cool, that can go out to folks in your LinkedIn world. So you can go into ChatGPT and say, write me a simple email newsletter that I'm going to send out to my database about this, and this. Right? Super easy to do. It will spit that back out to you, and then you can put that into your email newsletter. Now, as a bonus, what I would say in your email newsletter is, in that newsletter, have some of those points about your newsletter link back to other content. So, for example, if you did a video over on TikTok about the reasons behind staging, and in your newsletter you're talking about staging, link to that inside your newsletter. Or maybe you have a video over on YouTube or a reel over on Instagram about decluttering or how to find a lender. If you have that in your newsletter, you can link to those various pieces of content, and this goes to this idea of repurposing content, which, by the way, I have a great video all about repurposing content. We will link that below so you can check this out. By the way, if this has been helpful so far, we would love if you'd hit that subscribe button and the bell button, as we have new videos like this that come out each and every week. All right, let's go on with the show. Tip number 4, write an article that you can send to your local paper. One of the ways to get social proof and to really get proof that you are who you say you are, that you're good at what you do, is to get published in especially local media. So think about your local media, whether it's local newspapers, local blogs. They are always looking for great stories, especially about the real estate market. So you could go into ChatGPT and say, write me an article that I'm going to be publishing in XYZ newspaper about this topic, this topic, this topic. Again, especially if you struggle a little bit with writing, but you've got a lot of the concepts, you've got a lot of the market data, you've got this expertise. So many of you watching, I know, have been in real estate for years, if not decades. You have a lot of that expertise. So why not use it as a way to write an article? Now you've got a great article. You can take that copy from ChatGPT, put that into a Google document or a Word document, go online, figure out who your local editors are, who your local bloggers are, and just, maybe reach out and say, hey, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm a local realtor in XYZ market, and I have an article about what's going on with the market or a response to this. Thought you might be interested in it. So as long as it's not a sales pitch just to work with you, right? No one wants to just publish a sales pitch, but if it's something helpful, something informative, it can really make a big difference, and it's just one more notch in your tool belt as far as your expertise. Okay, tip number 5, write your YouTube descriptions. So I talked about this earlier when we talked about social media posts, but if you're active on YouTube, and if you're watching this over on YouTube, we've been growing our YouTube channel, and we've really been building an amazing community here on YouTube. And one of the ways to really maximize YouTube is make sure you have robust descriptions. And I'll be honest, when it comes to writing descriptions, I do a lot of writing, but I know sometimes getting a little bit of a leg up can really, really help. So after you filmed your YouTube videos, you can go into ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a YouTube description that is SEO friendly, that is keyword friendly, that's about this, this, and this. And here is who I am. Let's have the tone be this. This is who the audience is for. And again, it'll spit back out to you a pretty robust description that, again, you can take a look at, you can edit, you can tweak. Of course, with YouTube descriptions, I'm a big believer in adding additional links, your contact information, all those extra bells and whistles that really make a big difference. So at the end of the day, what I love about ChatGPT is, again, we're really at the infancy of all of this. I am not an expert on it. I'm not a guru on it. I've just been using it for the past few weeks. I think the opportunities are wide open. We're already seeing AI being integrated in so many great platforms. We're seeing AI integrated into Canva as well as some other really fantastic tools. And like I said in the beginning, I don't think it's going to replace an agent. I don't even think it's going to replace a marketer, but I do think it can be a huge time saver in your business. And at the end of the day, nobody replaces a human, right? If this was helpful for you, I would love to hear from you. Have you used ChatGPT? Let me know in the comments below. And the good news is we have a brand new ChatGPT checklist. So if you're listening to this going, I don't even know how to get to ChatGPT, I'm not even sure how to really maximize it, or maybe you've been dabbling in it and you really want to take things to the next level, we have a brand new free resource. If you go to katielance.com/ChatGPT, katielance.com/ChatGPT, it's going to take you to a landing page, put your name and email in, and we're going to send you a PDF. It's about a 4 or 5 page PDF, really simple checklist that you can print out and use right away as you start delving into ChatGPT. All right, until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
you.